Dear friends, last week we had the parable of the Good Samaritan and how we must love our neighbor. There is an interesting story about two neighbors. One day, little Tommy was filling a hole and burying something in the garden. And being very curious, the neighbor asked him, "What are you up to there, Tommy, today?" So Tommy said, "I was burying my goldfish. He died yesterday and I just buried him now." So the neighbor was a bit suspicious and asked him, "That is an awfully big hole for a goldfish, don't you think so?" Tommy said, "Yeah, that's because he is still inside your stupid cat," he said. So you don't have to love the cat, neighbor's cat. Dr. James Rook wrote a famous book titled Overcoming Busyness. Here, Dr. James, a professor at the Business School of Harvard University, speaks about three varieties of priorities, A, B, C priorities. And he says so many people today spend so much time with the C priorities. And then he asks, why do you think that is the case? The answer is that C priorities are much easier to accomplish and give you an impression or satisfaction that you have gotten something done. In other words, the C priorities can keep you busy all day long and never get to the more important priorities. The lesson from today's gospel passage about Mary and Martha is don't let the good, the C priorities, get in the way of the best, the A priorities. It's a beautiful story of Martha and Mary in the gospel and their hospitality, but it's also very much misunderstood passage. It may be helpful for us to keep in mind that Jesus was very good friends with Martha, Mary, and their brother Lazarus. Martha loved Jesus too, but her mistake was in not realizing how Jesus wanted to be received or welcomed. Whereas Mary rightly sensed that when Jesus came to visit them on his way to Jerusalem, what he really wanted was not food, but fellowship or companionship. So while Martha made the great effort of housekeeping, Mary knew better what Jesus really expected of her. For Jesus was there not to receive, but to give. He was there not to be served, but to serve. Jesus had something very important to share, and they needed to listen to him very attentively. Similarly, Jesus comes to us not because he needs us, but because we need him. But often we get distracted and worry about so many other things. Here, Jesus is not rebuking or rejecting Martha, but he is gently teaching her that although he deeply appreciates her hospitality and the meal she is rushing to serve or prepare, the true hospitality comes from sitting at the feet of the Lord and listening attentively to him. This is because listening to Jesus and his teachings is a foundation of our Christian discipleship. And serving others must come from our love for the Lord rather than from any obligation. Unlike other interpretations of the gospel, Jesus is not preferring action to contemplation. Jesus is not rejecting Martha's ways and accepting only Mary's either. In fact, both are necessary. Of course, our natural sympathies are probably with Martha because she is doing all the work. What do Martha and Mary represent for us? They stand for two dimensions in each one of us. One is the desire to work, to achieve, to take care of the family, to accomplish something good or great in our life. That is the Martha dimension. The other need we all have, which is very unique to human beings, is the need to pause, to reflect, to look at our life journey, to listen to the Word of God, and sit in His presence patiently. That is a Mary dimension. Thus, prayer and reflection give us the roadmap to guide our life in the right way. Otherwise, we are like a leaf floating along in the river. St. Thomas Aquinas, the famous theologian and philosopher of the Church, emphasizes that hospitality is an expression of charity. It's a virtue that seeks the good of others. In his Summa Theologica, the famous writing, Aquinas writes that charity is not only about taking care of those who are close to us, but also about extending our love and care to others, especially strangers. In the first reading we just heard, Abraham's act of welcoming the visitors exemplifies this kind of charity. It shows us that just as Abraham welcomed God into his life and to Sarah's life, we are called to welcome God into our lives by offering our hospitality, by offering our hearts through the acts of love and service. Both are important, but what is essential is the delicate balance. And without this balance, we can run the risk of becoming anxious and troubled and worried about many things, just as Martha was. In short, by worrying about the past and being anxious about the future, we often forget to live in the present. Finally, St. Aquinas says this: service without a relationship with God can become mere busy work or just an activity, while contemplation without action can lead to a lack of engagement with others and their needs.